I'm already not like everyone else, you know. I already stand out because of my stature, my size. I already don't feel good within myself, and now my dick isn't working. Do you reckon more men are insecure about their size than actually let on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's what I just think there's so many things that men don't talk about. And it's starting to change. Like, men are now talking about the mental health and stuff, which is great, but the body side of things is the thing that is not yet really being spoken about. You see bodybuilders sometimes talking about how when they lose that much weight that they sort of suffer with things not working, like the hormones go off and everything like that. So you kind of get a little bit of element of it. But then for people who are like obese, morbidly obese, there's not really that same conversation. There's not as much kind of focus put on what are they going through, what's day to day like for them.
I think it's just a stigma of them. You're just a fat person, so you're going to be sad. It's that old thing, isn't it? Do you remember when they were like, oh, if you're going to be fat, at least be fat and happy, or at least be fat and funny, that sort of thing. Do you reckon that's really ricocheted now into big men literally will not tell you that they're insecure? They'll put it as like a character trait almost. Yeah,
because you hide behind it. You mask behind this facade, this personality that you want people to see, but it's not the real you.
Now, the bigger you are as well, yeah.
But sometimes the bigger you are, the smaller you are inside. You're so scared to talk about anything, to say anything, to raise things, because you just think someone's maybe just go, well, because you're fat. It's your fault.
Yeah. For example, you go into a gym and you're a bigger guy. Would you say that insecurity hits you straight away, or would you say, you know, it's performance anxiety of like, can I use the machinery? What happens as a bigger guy when you walk into the gym?
It definitely does, and you see people look. I don't think people are intentionally going, oh my God, look at him. They just see you and go, oh. And some people will go, amazing, he's come to the gym. Yeah. To try and like change his life and things like that. And some people might just be like, fucking hell, size of him. But you can't control what other people are going to do. So if you're going to go in and do it, it has to be for you. It has to not be for some other thing, or you're trying to please someone else or do something. If you're going to go and do it, you have to do it for yourself, because if you're not doing it for yourself, you're never going to do it.
100%. And you have to understand there's always going to be bystanders. There's going to be people that are going to watch, because that's what they're going to do, aren't they? Everyone looks, in some ways, 9 out of 10 people are going to try and compare themselves to you, but that's because 9 out of 10 people have the same sort of insecurity. It's just a different area on the spectrum, isn't it? Like, I think everyone in some way, shape or form is insecure about the way that they look. And some people will deny it, but I think that's true.
I don't think I've met anyone that's not insecure about something about how they look, how they are.
Were you always a big guy?
No, when I was a kid, I was ridiculously thin.
Really?
Up until like 16, I was like a rake, and then I think I moved out. I got access to food, I got access to my own money, and then throw trauma in, and then food became my kind of rescue.
Your coping mechanism.
When I felt bad, I ate.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
That just for 20 years, that's built up, and here we are.
You're changing it now. You say here we are. What I'm seeing in front of me is a bloke with a healthier mindset day to day that is reducing in size but gaining in, you know, confidence and structure within your life. It can't occur when there's no structure in your mind. And I'm going to say this as I am also on a health journey at the minute, right? The bigger I was, the more my life was in jeopardy, in chaos, was non-structured whatsoever. Okay, would you say that people that are bigger externally and aren't looking after themselves, I'm not saying this because of a thyroid problem, don't fucking start internet, right? People that, because of how much they consume, right, are bigger, would you say that their life is 9 times out of 10 in jeopardy as well, not controlling it?
Yeah, because you haven't got control, because you're using food or other things as a means to kind of escape from the things that you're not really facing, that you need to face.
Totally agree.
And the longer that goes on, the bigger you get, the harder it gets, the more you eat, and you're just in this cycle that you can't get out of. And 10, 15, 20 years later, you've got that big that you're now kind of like, you look back at photos and go, I thought I was fat then. I'd love to go back to like that size. I wasn't fat, but I thought I was. But you get it in your head, and it just sort of builds up and keeps going.
So it's like the internal issues that go on, you start projecting them, it becomes your image.
Yeah.
I think that's true, because I think it is an addiction. You know, and an addiction is anything that takes you outside of yourself, and as you say, you're eating to escape. So that is an addiction. And when we go through any addiction, that addiction takes control, and it does start to represent on the external as well. Okay. For example, if we do cocaine, after a while, you're going to start looking like you do cocaine. Do you know what I mean? If you drink a lot, you're going to start looking like you drink a lot. And it's the same with eating. But when I've spoken to people before, especially in the nutritionalist environment, okay, and I've said to them, I don't believe this is a problem with my eating. I believe this is a problem with my mentality and my structure. They've said, no. Your responsibility here is to look after you. My responsibility is to look after your food. And they've emphasised that they're just there for the food.
What I've learned is my relationship with food was very toxic. And I've spent the last 6 months working on that with someone, and it's significantly better, which just give me a better mindset and things. But I wouldn't say I'm addicted to food. I think I was addicted to the feeling that the food gave me.
100%.
So it was... The food allowed me to feel safe. It allowed me to feel in control when I wasn't in control. But for 5 or 10 minutes, I felt good because I was giving myself this thing. The dopamine chasing was on such a high level that if I shoveled food in, for a minute, I felt great. But then 10 minutes later, you feel horrendous because you realise what you've just done.
So it's like any addiction, and it hits you afterwards.
Yeah.
Well, have you ever been and you've eaten and then you feel totally guilty afterwards?
I wouldn't say guilty.
What is the after feeling then? You know, you say you feel awful afterwards. What is that after feeling?
I don't feel guilty for doing it, but I think like shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
But you keep doing it. Why do you keep doing it?
It vindicates you a little bit.
And you start to learn little bits of why you're doing it, but you kind of lock it away in a box and you just go, I don't want to deal with that. I'll leave that.
You know, like with other addictions where you always have a poison of choice, right? Is there one with food? Is there something that you know you would absolutely smash fucking loads of?
Crisps.
Really? So many people say that, you know.
Yeah,
so
like a 24 bag of crisps gone.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
How long it take you?
20 minutes.
And do you feel ill afterwards? What, is that when that remorse hits you? Yeah, that's when that remorse hits you. And you're sort of looking around like... Because it's important to say it in this way, isn't it? It's like looking around like an addict. And you're looking around and say you decided to do a load of drugs and you're looking around at the empty pill boxes, or you're looking around, there's a pipe there, you're looking around there. You're just sat with your own rubble, aren't you?
Yeah, on the coffee table, and there's a mountain of crisp packets
that
have just been demolished, and they might stay there for 2 or 3 days because I don't want to accept what I've done.
Yeah.
And it's like, I know it's there, but I don't want to do it. And then finally, when I say, right, I'm going to clean it up, is that realisation of, what the fuck have you done?
Yeah. Do you think that's why people that have, you know, eating addictions tend to also have either really clean homes because they're hiding it, or there's a mess because they're overstimulated and they can't focus on cleaning their environment because their head's such a mess?
Personally, probably more of a mess. Like, I find keeping on top of things can get difficult because you're putting it off. You're procrastinating so much because you're getting other ways of fulfillment. Like, you come up to tell you can scroll on your phone and you're like, oh no, I need to clean up, but I'll leave that, and then it's like a week, 2 weeks later, and then finally someone goes home coming round and you're like, shit,